we're not in a saturated market. So for this reason, we rarely look at competition and try to grab market share from them.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Daily Crypto. We have the founder and CEO of Binance, Changpeng Zhao, with us, who will be sharing his future plans for Binance. But before we get into the video, let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index. As of recording this video, it is at 22, a little better than yesterday's 20. Currently Bitcoin and Ethereum are trading for 19,180 and 1,318 respectively. With that out of the way, let's continue with the video.
We got to the world's biggest exchange status in terms of trading volume in 2017. So we were there 2017 till now. Poloniex was there, Bittrex was there also in 2017. I think they were but they were early 2017. They became the biggest exchanges in sequence. And but by December, I think it was late December, that we became the largest exchange from 2017 till now. By most matrices. I think we broke that 4-year thing already, but knock on wood, let's hope we keep it.
Believe it or not, Binance was actually the worst exchange in 2017 in terms of volume, and look at it now. It is one of the biggest, most successful crypto exchanges in the world with billions of dollars in trading volume per day.
So to be honest, I think for the centralized CeFi space, the biggest challenge has always been KYC. How do we do KYC solutions for 180 people, 180 countries around the world? Some countries don't even have street addresses. They live in a village. They don't have utility bills. How do we do proof of address? So so we need localized KYC solutions for centralized exchanges that are easy to use. That's always a challenge. And many exchanges just don't do that. But Binance does full KYC for our users. On the DeFi world, I think the biggest challenge is actually just wallets. Today, most wallets are not designed for average person. Most average people cannot hold their own private key securely using the software, using the tools we provide them today. So I think on both fronts, we got to solve those problems.
CZ points out that one of the biggest headaches Binance has to deal with is the Know Your Customer or KYC policy. There are several countries and areas that are not based around the requirements of KYC, which is why they have come up with localized solutions. CZ also reveals that decentralized wallets are going to be the next big thing if someone can come up with a solution that solves the problem of people not being able to store their keys securely.
I think it's going to take a number of years. So I think eventually, if you look at the eventual situation, 10, 20, 30 years from now, decentralized exchanges will definitely be bigger than centralized exchanges. But today, the majority of normal people are not even in crypto. And the guys who are in crypto are the early adopters. And are the technical guys. They are used to backing up your own private key, encrypted and sharded in multiple places, and have a way to give it to your kids when you're not around. Those things are very hard to do for a normal person today. And so 90-something% of the population still don't have any kind of crypto. And for those guys, when they come to crypto, it's easier for them to use an email password. And if they lose that, they can call customer support. I think that's an easier experience for most guys to get in. But once they become more technically stronger, and also once the tools for wallets and for keeping private keys become easier to use, those guys will see more and more people shifting to DeFi, I think. So there's two dynamics. I think longer term, people will shift to DeFi, but in the short term, we see the majority of people are not even in CeFi or not even in crypto yet. And those guys will probably use CeFi as the first hop into crypto.
Even though centralized exchanges are the most popular exchanges these days, CZ believes that decentralized exchanges will eventually become much bigger as people start to adopt the take full custody of your assets idea. In the next 20 to 30 years, more people will be comfortable with the whole operating process of a decentralized exchange and will have more awareness of the industry.
People very often kind of combine them together. I would like to separate them out a little bit. There's a centralization versus decentralization, which we can talk about. And then there is how do we make things the easiest for people to use? And how do we make it the most most protected for users? Liquidity, if you split into different pairs, or through different countries or stuff like that, liquidity is much better when they combine. When you have a combined order book liquidity, the liquidity is much deeper. The slippage is much shallower. You get less of the spikes that happen on graphs. When spikes happen, people may get liquidated, etc. So liquidity is actually the best protection for users. And that's the main reason we combine all the stablecoin liquidity into one. There's many misconceptions about this announcement. People think we stopped supporting USDC, which is not true. USDC deposits work on Binance, and you can withdraw them on Binance. When you deposit, it's converted one-to-one to BUSD, and you can trade just like that. So you at zero loss, no slippage. And now you're trading a combined liquidity pool that's easiest for people to trade. And then when you're done trading, you want to withdraw even your BUSD balance, you can withdraw in USDC, one-to-one conversion, no loss. So this is the easiest user experience. It was mainly from that optimizing the user experience that we started. We did this. So people thought we don't support USDC, which is not true. You can deposit, you can withdraw USDC. Once it comes in, it's one-to-one conversion into a large liquidity pool.
With USDC recently facing some liquidity issues, CZ says the allegations that Binance is no longer supporting us are wrong, as all they do is automatically convert deposited USDC into BUSD at 0% fees. Users are able to trade just like they wanted, except the fact that instead of using USDC, they're trading by BUSD, which doesn't make much of a difference.
So Binance today is a large ecosystem. There's a centralized exchange. There's a bunch of DeFi projects. There's a blockchain. There's a BNB chain. There's different wallets. There's CoinMarketCap. There's a lot of different parts in the ecosystem, and there's many projects on BNB chain. So the way I like to look at this is I spend quite a lot of my time on the centralized exchange. That's where my experience is. That's where most of my knowledge is. I'm actually not very knowledgeable about different consensus mechanisms, ZK rollups, and like if you look at Vitalik, he's the guy that is very deep in those kind of technology stuff. If you look at his tweet, he tweets about different mathematical formulas, which to most people probably do not understand. And so that's kind of my personal time. But from a ecosystem perspective, different parts in the ecosystem, they need to grow and compete independently. They need to stand up on their own. So, for example, from the Binance centralized exchange perspective, we want there to be as many blockchains, as many tokens, as many strong projects as possible. Because if there's only one project, then there's not much to trade, and then the centralized exchange actually won't have much of a business. From the BNB chain team's perspective, there may be some overlaps with Ethereum. There may be some competition, but today the industry is so early, it's not even competition.
Binance has always supported projects that add value to the crypto space and has successfully integrated them into their exchange. The Binance native cryptocurrency, BNB, is also used for a variety of smart contracts that ultimately increase Binance's business, which is exactly what CZ wants.
Different parts of the ecosystem needs to each component needs to collaborate with every player in the ecosystem. CoinMarketCap competes with some other news aggregator or stuff like that, but that's okay. That's friendly competition. Speaking of competition, today the market is not saturated. Like today, the global market adoption is probably between 1% to 3%. To fight within that 1% to 3%, fighting for additional 1 or 2% market share, it's meaningless. Let's grow the pie. Let's grow the pie by 10x. Let's grow the pie by 100x. And then everybody benefits. So crypto is so early. We're not in a saturated market. So for this reason, we rarely look at competition and try to grab market share from them. This is why we spend most of the time educating the masses, talking with different governments, different countries. We try to grow the market, which is much, much better for everyone. So we don't view the other players as competition.
Changpeng Zhao has a very different outlook on how he plans to grow Binance in the future. He believes that instead of trying to take market share away from their competitors, they're educating people so the whole market can grow. This will automatically increase Binance market volume without having to increase market share.
Regulatory side, I think we are actually seeing a lot of progress in the positive direction for regulatory frameworks. I think we should expect that, when the regulators look at this industry, the first thing they would do is to borrow from what they know already. How they regulate banks, how they regulate exchanges, and move that into here. And then later on, they will realize, wait a second, this is a car, not a horse. This thing fits differently. You can't put a saddle on it, stuff like that. So when first cars came on, there's no steering wheels. People drove the car with two straps. Steering wheel came later. So I think we're still kind of at that stage in the industry. There are many positive progress though. Like Dubai set up a completely new regulatory agency called VERA, Virtual Asset Regulatory Authority. The reason they did this is because they didn't want the traditional securities stocks market regulator to regulate it, because then they have a lot of stock market things to carry.
CZ is confident that regulation will actually increase crypto adoption. Since Gary Gensler stated that all cryptos except Bitcoin are securities and not commodities, it has sparked a debate among crypto enthusiasts. CZ himself argues that there is no way the 80 to 90 years old SEC guidelines on securities are still valid and applicable on cryptocurrencies. This is actually a very strong point, as this asset class is something that was not around before 2009. Given cryptocurrencies' general properties, a new legislation is imminent. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe to our channel to show your support. See you guys in the next video.